Now, interesting stuff from Raheem Sterling, speaking to the Financial Times on the possibility of leaving Manchester City. If there was an opportunity to go somewhere else, I'd be open to it at this moment in time. I should learn different languages. I quite like the French and Spanish accents.
Oh, okay.
As an English player, all I know is the Premier League, and I've always thought, you know, maybe one day I'd love to play abroad and see how I would come up against that challenge. I'm just raring to go, ready to be playing football matches regularly, scoring goals regularly. If football for me is not at a certain standard, I'm not really at my happiest. If I want my happiness at a certain level, I need to be playing football. I need to be scoring goals and enjoying myself. Let's welcome Jan Arge Fjortoft into the show as well. Jan, these quotes have blown up in the UK media. Obviously, people suggesting that he wants out of Manchester City because he's not starting every game. Is that right?
I see a young lad. He's still young. I see a young lad who wants to experience life, wants to go abroad. I've been fortunate in my life to play football in 4 different countries, and it's the most valuable time I've ever had. And I see, thank God that there is some English players who wants to go abroad, try to explore life and living abroad. Fantastic. And Sterling, if he wants to go abroad, good luck to him. If that comes in a time that he doesn't play a lot for Pep Guardiola, I don't see this as anything against Manchester City or against Pep Guardiola. I see Raheem Sterling have a good vision of life, try to experience something else in his life. This is not a big deal for me.
How will Pep Guardiola react, Stevie, do you feel?
I get the feeling that Pep won't say an awful lot about it. I think it'll be water off a duck's back to him. He'll understand. I mean, this just sounds like Sterling figuring out that he doesn't want to play for anybody else in the Premier League because he knows Man City are the best team. He certainly can't go to Liverpool, that's for sure, or Man United. And so he's obviously sat and thought about it and came up with this going abroad line. Again, he doesn't seem to me as a guy that all his life was sitting thinking about how can I broaden my horizons and go abroad and speak another language. I think he's sat down and got this all calculated out, knowing he's doing this interview and just making it known, probably more to Manchester City, that he's not happy sitting on the bench and he wants to play.
So he said France and Spain. That's PSG, Barcelona, Real Madrid.
Uh-huh.
Does he walk into all of those sides?
He does not walk into PSG. He could potentially walk into Barcelona. I don't know that he walks into Real Madrid. So I know that he likes the Spanish and French accent, apparently.
Yeah, I could help him with that.
Yes, you're very good with your Spanish.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect, your Spanish. Look, I think there is some value to the fact that you have a player, and it's a significant name within the Premier League, and we think of the Premier League sometimes as being very insular, very sort of isolated from the rest of the world. A player who's saying, you know what, I like to go elsewhere. How about that? How about I don't have to deal with all the nonsense here. I'll go elsewhere and deal with the nonsense somewhere else. So there is something refreshing about that. But I'm with Stevie in regards to that you don't say these things unless you're sending a message.
Right.
There is an ulterior motive to this. It's not just, hey, I want to live life. While that's great, and I support that, and I support his willingness to go and experience something different, I think there's more to this than that.
He's 27, Shaka. He's got a contract at City until 2023. You take a look at possible suitors. Are they really going to pay a lot of money for someone who is getting towards the twilight of their career?
They're not going to pay an awful lot of money. As you mentioned, Danny's got, well, under 2 years left on his contract. Let's assume he sees out the season at City. That means he's got a year to go. And all of a sudden, that transfer value, that whole lot that he's reported to be worth, starts to plummet because he leaves in a free at 12 months after next summer. I see nothing, I read nothing to this. All Raheem Sterling is saying what everybody knows. I am going to see out this contract. My value is going to be going down. I guess I'm going to be affordable, at least in 12 months' time. And I'm not just stuck to the Premier League. I am happy to explore other options. Whether, as the boys mentioned, that's Barcelona or PSG or Real Madrid, whoever it is. But if the likes of Arsenal or anybody else want to come calling, then they have to put their money where their mouths are, because he's not going to be pigeonholed into just staying in English football. It's the possibility, but not a pigeonhole.
But
I was going to do my German
that,
accent, well, Jan, but I feel that could get me into trouble. What about Bayern Munich?
no, he won't go there. The English players or British player won't go to Bayern Munich because that doesn't happen. But it's unbelievable that we're talking about the kid.
Yeah, just explain why not. You say that quite flippantly for those of us maybe who can't understand why.
No, but it's just not a tradition for British players to go there. Young players, young British players would go there. We remember Mark Hughes, I think he was going from Barcelona over to Bayern Munich, then back to the British Isles again. But it's so cool that when one British player is saying that he wants to go abroad, it's like the same with the Brits. When they go abroad, they just want their egg and bacon and the Sun and Daily Mirror. And this is all people that if they say something that want to go and play somewhere else, we think this is a big, big deal. Everybody does that. Let's have a British player to go abroad to have some success. Fantastic.
Yeah, and I feel like you're pigeonholing all of us British people. Come on, Stevie.
Yeah, but they are. Be honest. Be honest. I play with the British players all the time. When they come abroad, they want to bring Britain with them.
Stephen, you are a culture vulture.
So the Italians, when they came to London, they didn't eat pasta, did they? Hey, Vialli, I know Burnley's mates at Chelsea. They stopped eating pasta and started eating sausage and bacon, didn't they?
Yeah. The Italians are European. You guys are Brits.
Yeah, right. Okay. Back to Sterling. Sterling's not stupid. Sterling's not stupid. There's a guy called Mbappe who absolutely 100% at the end of this season is going to Real Madrid. So there's your little seed thrown in for PSG. Oh. And if you're PSG, that's a good move.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.